Thank you, everyone. Thank you also our viewers for this wonderful moment that we are learning together. Today we are going to learn much about construction financing. And on construction financing, we are going to look on what is construction financing, how you need to package yourself, what are the projects which qualifies for construction financing, and the documentation which is required, and the terms and conditions for financing. My name is Daniel Maina. I'm an investment banker, but more geared towards real estate financing. We have a company called Pretward Properties and Mortgages Limited, where we provide financing solution, marketing solution, and investment advisory services through our academy called WAIM Academy. WAIM Academy means Wealth and Investment Management Academy. Thank you. One thing I want to encourage you, our viewers, is that a successful investing starts with courage. You need to have the courage, you need to have the confidence, you need to have a vision for you to ensure that your project gets a positive return on investment and it is able to pay the loan. Today we are going to learn much about financing, but more particular on construction financing. Construction financing is any financing, whether debt or equity financing, gears towards construction. Any money which the bank gives to you for construction is what is called construction financing. And construction financing can be short-term or can be long-term. It can be short-term, that means it can range between 1 year to 3 years. It can be long-term, whereby it can go up to 15 years, depending on what you are going to develop. If you are doing a hospital, or you are doing houses for rentals, or you are doing a school, that's a long-term investment. It will take a long time for it now to recoup back its investment. So that's called a long-term financing. If it's houses for sale, that becomes a short-term financing. Who qualifies for financing? Anyone can qualify for financing. For construction financing, anyone, as long as you have a vision, the project meets the fundamentals, that is the terms and conditions, that is, one can now be able to see it has a positive return on investment. You can now be able to define who is your target market. You can now, you have a clear plan. You have the drawings or the approvals, then your project qualifies can qualify for construction financing. Anyone, either you are a prospective developer or you are a seasoned developer, when it comes now to the verifying or to the appraisal process for financing, the model is more or less the same. However, for a new developer or a prospective developer, the risk is a bit high than a developer who has been seasoned, who has an experience. So that's the reason why we say it depends with the target market. When it comes now to construction financing, there are some areas whereby if you are doing houses for sale, there are different target markets. You can do houses for sale targeting the affordable. You can do affordable housing. Affordable housing, those are people who are you are targeting those people who are in the lower cadre of the pyramid. There are many cadres. You can have the lower cadre, you have middle income segment or high end segment, and all those, they have different risks. So when it comes now to the target market also defines how the construction financing is packaged. Remember here, I'm talking from both from the development part of view and also on how we usually appraise a project which now comes for construction financing at the Pretward Properties and Mortgages Limited. What are the projects which qualifies for financing? As we had said, if you are doing houses for sale, if you are doing houses for rental, if you are doing a school, if you are doing a hospital, all those qualifies for construction financing. Anything whereby you are getting financed for construction, for any brick and mortar, that is what is called construction financing. You can, as I had said, you can be a developer, you can be a seasoned developer as an individual. You can be a corporate, that is, you can be a limited liability, you can be having a company which is a limited liability company. You can be a chama, you can be a SACCO. We can now be able to model and to package your project so that it qualifies for construction financing. So I want us now to go now to how the financing is done. But before we go now to the how the financing is done, I want us to take a break, just a 1-minute break, so that now you can have a pen and paper, so that now we can go through the process for you to understand the terms, the conditions, and the documentation required. Thank you.
Welcome to Kitusuru Amani Gardens. Within Kitusuru, exactly 1.9 kilometers from the International School of Kenya, lies Kitusuru Amani Gardens. This is a lifestyle development which combines ambience, convenience, comfort, and luxury living. It is an architectural masterpiece that will transform the skyline of Kitusuru.
Thank you, our viewers and our audience. I know you are learning. I know today you are learning something about construction financing. And I know from today, construction financing will not be an elephant in the room. It will be something which you can handle. Your dream towards being a developer, either you are doing houses for sale, for rental, that is commercial project, or you are doing your own residential house, will not be an issue. You'll be able now to know what are the terms and conditions, and yet we are here as Spiritual Properties and Mortgages Limited to assist you in your housing dream. If you have any question or any clarification, or you have a project which you require to be packaged for construction financing, we have our numbers which are running. You can send us a WhatsApp, or you can call me directly through those numbers, and I know I will be able to assist you. We were talking about how what is the percentage of financing. Construction financing, the amount which is financed depends with the BQ. Remember, we don't finance towards, we cannot finance the acquisition of the land and the construction at the same time. You need to have a land, you need to have the drawings and approvals for you to qualify for the construction financing. But when you come now to us, we can now be able to structure the whole process from the point of concept formulation, that is the feasibility study, the documentation stage, that is the drawings which are required, how to do, to package yourself so that the project can qualify for the financing. That is part of the investment advisory services which we give to our customers. The amount which qualifies is dependent on the type of the development which you are taking, the risk involved, and also there's also, we look at a project is reviewed on a merit basis. We don't have construction financing is a very dynamic discipline. The amount which is financed depends on a project. It's a case by case, is dependent on a case by case basis. The financing can range between 80% to 100%. You can be having another property which you can charge, because on this type of financing there must be a legal charge. It's a collateralized financing. There must be a security, and the security is usually a land, whereby now we take a charge on the land for you now to give you the financing. So it depends. It can range between 70% to 100%. And the way we do the appraisal process now determines how much you are going to be, what amount of the loan which you are going to qualify per the project. We usually call it LTV, the loan to value ratio. And the financing process starts from the point of documentation all the way to the financing to the repayment. If let me give you a very simple process, although we shall now have another session whereby now we shall now discuss on the documentation in a detailed manner. Every financing on construction starts with a feasibility study. There must be a market survey. You need to know who is your target market. You need to know what you need to define what is the problem statement. What is the gap in the market which you want now to solve. So you need to start from the market survey, and the market survey now determines the documentation, the drawings. How the drawings will look like is determined by the target market, and the target market is defined through the feasibility study. Then from there we look at what is the cost. Then from the total cost, how are you going to finance the whole project? Remember, we have said that we don't give 100% financing, but there are some cases whereby if it is an equity release, that one can be given 100% financing, whereby you have another title or another development which can be charged for you to qualify for financing for the project you are doing, as long as that building or that collateral can be able to get the whole 100% financing, can cover the total BQ for the project which you are going to develop. So in that kind of a scenario, you can get 100% financing. But in most cases, the financing ranges between 70% to 100%. So in this case, once we have the drawings, the QS has documented the BQ, we now know the total cost of the project. Then we usually sit together with the developer to come up with a financing plan, that this is the amount of financing which you are going to get for you in terms of debt. Then this is what will come as equity investment, your own contribution. If it is houses for sale, we usually now come up with another column which is called quasi-equity, that this percentage now can come from the pre-sales. Then once we have the financing plan and the financing is available, then we go to the construction. Now remember, nowadays, because of the CRB, that is the Credit Reference Bureau, you need to ensure that we have to ensure that you are clean on your CRB records. By being clean doesn't mean that you have never been listed. You can be listed, but as long as you have paid the debt which made you to be listed, or you are paying, that cannot delimit you from qualifying for the financing. The other thing we need to know, what are the other businesses which you are doing, which now comes as a fallback position for payment of the interest. Remember here, interest is a component and it has to be paid. So where is this interest going to come from? So those are some of the issues which we usually sit down with the developer, and then we are able now to structure the financing. It is called the financial structuring. Once that is done, then your project qualifies for the financing. How do we finance our projects? We finance our projects from two main sources. One, from the mainstream banks, that is now as a debt financing, or from DFIs, that is development finance institutions, like Short Afrique, East African Development Bank, we have African Development Bank, we have PTA, that is the TDB Bank. All those our partners who finances our projects. So our role as Britwood Properties and Mortgages Limited is to structure the project from the, we give an end-to-end solution. We structure the project, we arrange the financing, we manage the project, as well as we give mortgage financing to the buyers if the project is for sale. So we give an end-to-end solution for your project. Thank you for that session. We shall now have another session whereby now we shall go through the documentation stage, so that now you can now be able to know what are the documents which you need to have for you to qualify for financing. But remember, we are your caring partners. We shall walk the walk together with you for you to ensure that you meet your investment dream. Thank you. Thank you. If you have any question relating to any construction financing, if you have any project which requires financing, if you are an aspiring developer or a seasoned developer doing any form of project and you want us to walk the walk with you, we are tested and tried partners. That is Britwood Properties and Mortgages Limited. We shall walk the walk with you. We shall structure your project. One of the issues which has made most projects to stall is because of the financing plan. If you don't you don't have a clear financing plan during the construction, mark my words, the chances of the project stalling are very high. So we give an end-to-end solution. We have a team of marketers, financial experts, project management experts whom we are going to walk the walk with you to ensure that your investment journey is successful. As I had said, successful investing starts with courage. Be courageous and you never regret. Thank you, our viewers. Please subscribe to this channel, Purpose TV, where we provide any information regarding to investment, to financing, because our purpose is to inspire you to ensure that you are aspired to become a successful investor. Thank you. But remember to subscribe to this channel and also to share this information to your colleagues and to your forums. Thank you. Bye-bye.